Alright everyone, welcome to the limited rundown before World starting tomorrow on Friday, October 6th. It is currently October 5th, late at night. We are getting this done. Again, we're creating a lot of content for you. A lot of stuff happening. So make sure you watch all the videos, enjoy, comment, let me know what you think, let me know what you like. Come check out the stream, twitch.tv/Sam49, starting live around 1 a.m. Friday morning for you. So we're going to start off the draft seminar part with the obvious red-green dinos. This is the deck everybody was talking about at the pre-release. This is the deck everyone thought was going to be broken. This is the deck nobody wanted to play against or play, etc., etc. This is the deck everybody was afraid of. Nobody knew what to do. It's so broken. Red-green dinos. It wins every time. What do we do? Fix it. Stop. No more limited. Well, this is kind of how you build it. You got some New Horizons, a bunch of Colossal Dreadmaws, some Raging Sawtooths. Not sure about the Sunbird's Invocation here. Thrasher Raptor is a great card. Shauna's Wayfinder, commune with the dinosaurs. I know the footage is a little grainy here. I'm doing the best I can, but this is kind of how you build it. You're an above-the-board aggro deck, meaning you're going to play creatures. They're not going to look huge at first. You're going to drop a Thrasher Raptor. You're going to attack for 5. Your opponent's going to be like, I don't know what to do. I block with my 3/3. I take 2. You attack with your Tilonali's Knight. They take another 3. All of a sudden, they're at 12. You play a Colossal Dreadmaw, and they're dead. It is that simple. Do you need pump spells in these decks? No. Are you going to have a lot of removal? Probably not. Also, one of the things you're going to learn about this format sooner rather than later, I hope, is that there is not a ton of removal. Cards like a Mark of the Vampire are insane. Cards like Thrasher Raptors are normally just 2 for 1. Your opponent has to block with 2/2 sometimes. Savage Stomp is insane and one of the best removal spells in the format. We have it here in this deck. 2 Odepec Hunt Masters at uncommon is crazy. A Wild Growth Walker I could probably do without, but we do have the 2 Shauna's Wayfinder to turn it on. Atsakan Archer is an interesting card. It's the 1/4 that fights something when it comes to play if you choose. It can kill an opponent's 2/1 merfolk. You know, it can battle against your own enraged creature if you have one. It's totally fine. What would I rank this deck? I think this deck's like a 7. I'm not sure what the Wild Growth Walker is doing here. I would like to see an extra Tilonali's Knight. I would like to see an extra removal spell. I don't love the Sunbird's Invocation. But this is a pretty good overall idea of what the dinosaur deck looks like. Now, what am I trying to get at showing you all the decks? I'm trying to show you what I think are the best decks in the format, and I'm trying to harp on a few things. I think aggro is real. I think you're going to see people taking 2-drops much higher than you saw them taking them at your LGS this week, much higher than you've been taking them on Magic Online. People are going to love 2-drops, I think, and I'm about to hopefully show you why. If you have a lot of 2-drops, you can get under this deck, but you can't go over. So let's move on to the next kind of dinosaur deck here. We got the white-green version, another deck you can get under with some 2-drops. Drover the Mighty, Kinjali's Caller as your ramp here. New Horizons, 2 Blossoming Dreads, big Thundering Spineback at the top, 2 Snapping Sandbacks, Glorifier of Dusk, a card I think people are very much underrating. Steadfast Armasaur, Grazing Whiptail, Queen's Commission. Don't love it in this deck, but I think it's fine. Shining Aerosaur is also very good. And Inspiring Cleric, Legion's Judgment. Legion's Judgment might just be too slow here. Territorial Hammerskull is just insane. But this is what white-green looks like. I think this deck's fine. I think the white-red deck's fine. We're just kind of talking about dinos here for a second. I think it's all good. White really relies on Territorial Hammerskulls, things like Shining Aerosaurs, Paternal Knights, Glorifier of Dusks to get it done. Legion Judgment's a little slow. Their 1-drops aren't great. I don't love Encampment Keeper. I don't like playing it at all. But I think this format's really, really, really fast, and so I think we're going to find very, very, very quickly that 2-drops rule the roost on this one. I think you're going to see a lot of decks, 6 to 8 2-drops. I think we're going to notice that green is going to be played by 4 players at the table, maybe white only by 2. I think we're going to find that as well. If I had to guess, the deepest colors are going to be blue and green. So if everyone's playing 2 colors at the table, that's 8 players. That's 16 colors. We have 5 colors in the pie. That means every deck's going to play. Every color is going to be played an average of 3 times once at a table. So if you're drafting with 8 players, each color is going to be in 3 decks. I expect like green and blue to be in 4 decks maybe. I expect maybe black to be in 2 decks, white to be in 2 decks, red to be in 3 decks, something like that. That adds up, right? I'm not an idiot. That's 18. 4, 4, 2 is 10. 3, 2. No, that's 15. I'm 3 off. So maybe green could even be in 5 decks. I don't know. You can go big with Blossoming Dreads, New Horizons. You can go merfolk. You can go dinosaurs. You can go a whole lot of ways. Reds as well. Red as well. You can go dinosaurs and pirates. and there are still aggro decks to be played with it. So I have some hope for all these colors, especially green. But yeah, this is kind of what I want to show from green. The deck before, we showed all the 2-drops. This deck, we're showing the ramp. We're showing how only, 6 to 7 green cards can get there and kind of make a deck. So we've covered 2 important topics I think we have to here in this limited format. First, 2-drops are insanely important. This format is like super fast, faster than the last one for sure. And two is so 1 obviously was 2-drops are important. And what was 2? I'm insane. Oh, 2 is I think green is going to be cut a lot of different ways. So let's move on to the next deck here. We're going to look at the third green deck. We're going to look at a merfolk deck. So this is 3 different iterations of the green deck. We got the red-green, the white-green, the blue-green, black-green's possible too, except not insane, but it's okay. So here we go. Shipwreck Looter, Siren's Ruse, Drover the Mighty. That is 2 2-drops. Not enough. Not enough. Regisaur Alpha, Thundering Spineback, Verdant Sun's Avatar. Now, what I will say about this deck, in a lot of these decks, is I don't think they have enough 2-drops, but I think because these decks were drafted early enough in the format, a lot of the people we're playing against, even online, have 3, 4, 5 drafts under their belts. From what I've learned, from what I did at the GP, from the people I've talked to with 20 or 30 drafts under their belts, I really think 2-drops are important. I'm going to hammer that down. What you see here is a hole in the 2-drop slot. I don't think this format's slow enough. I know they're Ravenous Daggertooths, but I'm not sure they're quite enough to mean, that I'm not sure there are quite enough Ravenous Daggertooths to really want to not play enough 2-drops. I think 2-drops are important. What I see here when I look at the 3-drops is 3-drops that have the bodies of 2-drops, meaning I'd rather just pay the 2 mana. Now I'm gonna hammer that till the end of time, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's really what I think. Siren Lookout, a great card. We see more Blossoming Dryads and New Horizons to ramp us. We see Shapers of Nature, which is a great gold card. It might even be splashable. Depths of Desire, Pirate's Prize, Storm Sculptor, Grazing Whiptail, and of course the top end. Now, if this format has a ton of 2-drops, what does that mean? Probably less splashing, but we forgot about the treasures. Don't forget about the treasures. Formats 2-drops, less splashing because they're more aggro, except when you get to splash for free off of treasures. I expect to see quite a bit of that, so we're going to go to one of the last decks I got to show you here, and this is a pirate deck. I love the blue-red pirate decks. I love the blue-black pirate decks. I played one of each of the sealed GP this weekend, but this is the red-black deck. 3 Lightning Rig Crew, 2 Deadeye Tormentor, and a plethora of 2-drops. Fathom Fleet Firebrand. Did I say that at all right? No. Seeker Squire, Dire Fleet Hoarder, March of the Drowned, Skittering Heartstopper, etc. This is a deck that's just getting there on the back of Lightning Rig Crew, and there are decks like that for sure. We can also get there with our 2-drops. We have Skullduggeries. We're splashing a Marauding Looter. We're splashing it off an unclaimed territory and an island here. This specific pirate deck doesn't have a ton of treasure, but most of them do. I think that this is the least commonly successful version of the pirate deck, which is why I'm showing it here. I think the blue-red and the blue-black pirate decks come together much more often, and so those are easier to show on. I mean, you're going to get way more looks at those. But yeah, I think this deck is totally fine. I think this deck is playable. This is what I expect to see. I think red-green dinos is good. I think white-green dinos is good. It's 2 dino decks. I think blue-red and blue-black pirates are the best pirates decks. There's 1 vampire deck. I don't really need to show you what that looks like. It's obvious. It looks like all the vampires. You can get a Rallying Roar, great. If you get some good rares, great. And there's 1 merfolk deck. There's 6 decks. Now, is there a red-white deck? Sure. Is there this black-red deck? Sure. But there's 6 decks, and there's 8 players at the table. So I think it's going to be a situation where multiple players are in blue-green merfolk, or multiple players are in blue-black pirates, and they're going to have to kind of fight. The key is stay open. This is really, really, really a simple, almost core set-like drafting process. You find the open archetype and you stick to it. That's really what I think here. So what do I think? I think this format is simple enough for all the testing teams to figure it out. I think if you're someone that's been around the block, someone like a Yuya, someone like a Paolo Vitor Damarosa, you're probably going to know, oh, this guy's to my left, he likes to draft this, he leans toward this, I'm going to be here, this is what's going to be open. But you still have to feel the draft out. So I think this is the draft format that really puts everyone on an even footing. I don't know how high the skill edge is compared to other formats. You know, there is always a skill edge. Being better at the format makes you more likely to win. But some formats, super high skill edge, some formats, super small skill edge. I think this is a middle format. It's not super simple. You do have to really, really work to find the open color combination, I should say. I've ditched. I've drafted 7 picks of white black, ditched a blue green, had 25 playables, and had a great deck. So definitely be open. I think this format's going to reward those that are. So thank you so much for watching the limited review. I hope you watched all 3: the constructed review, the limited review, and of course me picking who I think is going to win, who I think is going to do well. Much love. Thank you for watching. Comment down below. This took a bit of work, so I would like to know what you think, what you like, what you don't like. I'll be back next week. Much love, everybody. Thank you for watching. SamBuff49 signing off.